Hello and welcome to Cuesta Sports Monthly, an in-depth look at Cuesta athletics. I'm Peter Schuler. On this month's show, we'll be looking at Cuesta water polo. We begin today with the men's team with assistant coach Carl White and all-state driver Colton Privet. After that, we'll visit with the women's team. Sophomores America Hall and Marty Ray Droy will be joining us from the women's team. Also, but just before we go, we'll steal a few minutes with kinesiology division chair Jani Johnson. Right now, it's men's water polo on Cuesta Sports Monthly. Carl White, Colton Privet, welcome to Cuesta Sports Monthly. Thank you for taking a little time out of practice. I hope that's okay with you guys. I know you guys have a big tournament coming up this weekend. We'll start with you. Coming in here as a sophomore, all-state last year, basically the Cougars' top freshman, on a sophomore-heavy team. What are some of the things that you had as an expectation coming back here as a sophomore?
Well, we have a few players who are coming that are pretty strong, but a lot of young players this year, but I still hope to hopefully get to the state tournament.
Okay, last year you guys finished third in the region, just shy of the state tournament. What are some of the things you've changed as a role? I mean, last year we had, Brady Moore in the goal. He was Cuesta's athlete of the year. The year before, Jordan Mandering was on the team last year. He was Cuesta's athlete of the year. This just past spring. So there's a lot of leadership, a lot of goals and defense that were lost. What did you see as your role change for this year?
Last year I was more of a kind of a support player, just assist the big guys like Jordan and Lucas, obviously. And then this year I have to change by just playing better defense. We don't have a Brady anymore because he's just hard,
He's hard, tough to replace.
Exactly. And, I'm trying to step up and, be more of an offensive threat.
Okay. Now, Carl, your role as an assistant coach, last year you kind of helped out a little bit. This year is your first year as the official assistant coach. What are the things that you have been working on to kind of help this team progress?
Just the attitude mainly. Sometimes we have an attitude problem. We get down on ourselves, and I try to be there to pick the guys up from a tough loss or a tough quarter. Just make sure that our head's still in the game and that we're still maintaining our goal of winning the game and improving day to day, week to week, month by month.
Now, the team's won 4 straight conference titles, and kind of going for the 5th right now. You were part of a successful team here at Cuesta College. Do you bring some of that stuff back, or what's the difference for you coming back as an assistant and seeing the same kind of things as kids who are developing the same way you were? What are kind of the things you see? What are the things that are different that you see?
When I was here, I think our attitude was a little better. We never really got down on ourselves, and that's something that a young team will struggle with. Freshmen that really aren't used to playing on a big time sports team will get down if the coach yells at them, but they learn time and time, and that's what I'm here for. That's where I think I will help them the most, is just being calm, explaining to them that it's okay that we make mistakes. Let's move on, let's improve. It's just one game at a time, and let's get that 5th straight title.
Just kind of a little bit of good cop, bad cop, or just whatever is needed at that time.
Yeah, whatever's needed. Yeah.
Now, what are some of the lessons as a freshman, true freshman coming in last year on the team, that you've brought back for this year that kind of helped the other team players evolve this year?
I mean, I'd say the biggest thing is communication in the pool. And that's something that we're struggling with, and I think we need to work on. But last year, a lot of people communicated. Brady was always talking. Lucas was always vocal. And Jordan, he was the quiet but silent leader. But I just think we need to communicate and be vocal. Especially
in an aquatic area. Exactly. where you spend part of the time underwater and stuff like that. So being able to communicate when you get an opportunity is real important.
Oh yeah, we all need to be on the same page.
All right.
Because when you're on the same page, you're less likely to make a mistake.
Otherwise, coach is yelling at us, and then we have to have Carl step in, and Carl has to make everybody feel good. Now, what are some of the things you see between veterans, like Colton? We had a solid core coming back. Lucas Johns is a 2-meter player. He was the leading scorer returning, 1 goal more than you. And then Max Draga also had an offensive threat. But so you had a little bit of a core coming back. What are some of the things that you, as an assistant coach, besides making sure that they're okay positively, helping them get used to the college game?
The freshmen is just the speed. I think is the thing that kills a lot of freshmen coming here. So, we have some pretty fast guys with Colton, with Max, and even LJ, Lucas Johns, when he gets up and down the pool, can be pretty fast. So we get them used to the speed, the physicality of the game, and that's where LJ, Max, pretty physical guys.
Yes.
They're not afraid to get on their teammates when they make a mistake, and we'll just strengthen them up physically, mentally, all that stuff. Yeah.
Now, you guys have kind of worked a lot where this year we've had a lot of people miss time. How has that affected you guys with the injuries and missing players that you expected to be key members for longer periods of time? How have you guys worked around that this year?
Well, I mean, it's been tough because you can't work on things you want to work on when you don't have all the starters and things. Like, I'm personally one of those players who hasn't played most of the season, but I think at the end it'll be good for us because it'll cause some people to step up.
Yeah, so you have some of these people who maybe would have been able to just kind of ride what you've done and what you've learned. Now have to step into a prominent role.
I think
so adding you would give them.
Yeah, seeing these minutes is going to kind of get the nerves out a little bit. So come postseason, hopefully they can produce something.
All right, I think that's going to be a very positive thing.
Yeah.
Cuesta, of course, has had a lot of success. This is the 36th year of the program, 35 consecutive playoff berths. They've never missed. So it's kind of a lot riding on it. And Carl, of course, been part of that legacy. And Carl, you transferred from Cuesta. You went down to the University of California, San Diego. Yeah. What are some of the things that Cuesta Water Polo has helped? How have they helped you prepare? And how are there lessons outside of water polo that you're trying to bring with these kids?
Help me prepare for the assistant coaching job?
Oh, prepare for going to school.
Going to school. It was just, because in high school I was kind of lax with grades, and here we are a student first and athlete second. So I was always, and that's something that Marsh hammers into our heads as well, is that you're always a student because you can have a season-ending injury, but if you still have good grades, you can go anywhere you want. And I was lucky enough to have decent enough grades and decent enough playing ability to get into San Diego. And that's something I've taken with me today that we still reinforce on, kids today. What was the second part of the question?
Oh, just how are you bringing that?
Bringing it back.
Bringing that onto the kind of bringing those same lessons.
It's just grades are the most important thing. It doesn't matter if we don't win state this year. It doesn't matter if we don't win even our conference. As long as their grades are there, everything is okay. We can deal with all the losses in the world. As long as we keep sending guys to play at schools year after year, I think Marshall will always be happy.
Now, Colton, you came over here from Fresno, Clovis area. What are some of the things that your plans for next year? What brought you to Cuesta, and what is your plans beyond?
Plans for next year, I plan to hopefully play at UC Santa Barbara. And why I came here, I actually had a coach who was from Cuesta. His name is Mitch Brewer. He played water polo.
I remember Mitch.
Yeah, and he said Cuesta's a great place. You should come try it out. And I really wanted to keep playing water polo, so I went for it. And
we'll
really
hopefully
happy.
see you with the Gauchos next year, and we'll continue that tradition of moving Cuesta on and winning a conference title this year. I'd like to thank Carl White and Colton Privet for joining us here today on Cuesta Sports Monthly. Coming up next, it's women's water polo when we return.
Cuesta.edu. Television, radio, broadcast, communication. Explore the world of digital communication and tap into your creative genius. Television, radio, broadcast, communication.
This is your boy, the DUI, and you're listening to KGUR.org.
Your digital future is at Cuesta College right now. Log on to Cuesta.edu now for enrollment dates and class information.
Don't put the boom in the shot. Blown it, bro.
Cuesta.edu.
Welcome back to Cuesta Sports Monthly. I'm joined by all-conference selection America Hall and the team's starting goaltender Marty Regroy from women's water polo. So first off, welcome Marty and America to Cuesta Sports Monthly. So glad to have you here.
Thank you.
America, this is your second year of the program. What are some of the things you're seeing from this year, and outlook for the season going on?
We have a really good goalie this year, which is amazing because in the past years they've been sketchy. But and I don't know, we're looking really good for conference, and I'm pretty excited about the rest of this year.
All right. Well, Marty Ray being that pretty good goalie.
Yes.
Last year, you spent your freshman season at St. Francis in New York, but out of a local student out of Paso Robles High School. What are some of the changes you've seen over the past year, going from Paso to New York and back to San Luis Obispo?
In Paso, the pool wasn't that great. In New York, it was all indoor pools, which wasn't that cool. So I came back, and I'm loving the Cuesta pool and being outside and the nice warmth.
Now, Paso, you had a shallow, deep
Yeah.
pool, and then back in New York, obviously inside, but full deep. What are some of the things that you've learned going from just playing half in the deep end to the full thing? Has that changed your game or your style at all?
Yeah, I play a lot better in all deep because I'm really short in the shallow end, so it's really hard to get the balls in those huge cages. So it's just a lot better being in all deep.
All right. Now, being a veteran on a veteran team, we have 8 sophomores on this year's Cuesta team. Taking a leadership role on a team like this, what's it like?
We don't have that many like standout leaders. A lot of the girls lead the team themselves, and it's a team effort when it comes to all of the sophomores coming back. And I haven't noticed any power struggles or anything like that. It's been pretty smooth.
Everybody's kind of getting along and kind of focused on the same goals.
Exactly.
Now, Marty, you came back. This is your sophomore year. You're one of 3 players from Paso Robles. Does that make your transition easier back from New York, or is that, how does that work for you right now?
It actually made it a lot easier, but it wasn't that hard making new friends. I made a lot of good friends on the team, America. So it wasn't that bad.
Now you have to take a leadership role, even though we have so many players back from the 2013 season. As a goaltender, you have to take a leadership role because you're running the defense. And so what are some of the things that you've developed to help your defense listen to you better?
Definitely yelling and repeating names, getting those down really good. Yeah, being loud actually is the number one thing that I've had to do.
Now, have there been any other changes you've seen defensively, or things that you've liked to do that were different from last year or even from high school?
Well, when we're man down, our defense that we run is I really like. We did that last year in New York, and it works well.
What particularly
the end drop, I think.
Okay, all right. That would be where one person steps back and.
Yeah.
Okay. Now for you, what are some of the things you've developed over the last 2 years with Cuesta College?
I don't know. I play everywhere, so it's hard to say specifically. I mean, overall, I've gotten way better than anything that I did in high school. But taking a leadership role, I'd say, is pretty fundamental, and I boosted it up this year. I don't know. Leading the team, just making it a friendly thing. I don't know.
Well, we talked about
stuff.
last segment with Colton Privet. He was talking about how the communication is such a big part of that. And,
it is.
And taking a role as leadership and communication is one of those things that you feel that you've taken on?
Yes.
Okay. And, and of course, Marty's doing the same thing
course,
with her yelling, as she said. Now, for both of you guys, I mean, what do you think are the challenges and the rewards of playing sports and athletics and college?
Challenges is getting everybody on the same page. I mean, a lot of the time, some people are a little sassy, just a little talking back, and just getting everybody focused. That's a tough one. But just the team effort. Once it comes together, you're like a family, and that's what it's all about.
Okay. Now, what about for you guys personally? Some of those challenges, it's always tough being a student athlete, and what are some of the things that you've learned to deal with, cut out and refocus and stuff like that as a student, as a personal person, work and play and competition and school. And
Right. I had to quit my job just to make time for this season, just because I know it's you always have to be there, and you can't really miss anything. But I mean, school's rough too, you know, like you have to just make time between everything that you have to do, like water polo and school.
Now, how about for you, Marty? I mean, what are some of the things that you feel you've gained through athletics?
Definitely managing my time. I did have to quit my job too, but I think that's like the best choice because then I can focus on getting my schoolwork done and then still being able to focus at practice.
Now, America, you're from South Pasadena, went to South Pasadena High School. Boss brought up another one of your teammates with you, Danny Fennessy from South Pasadena. What was it about Cuesta College that you liked, or was it just...
It was just, my brother had come up here, and it's a beautiful area, and they had water polo, and it was community college, and I was like, yeah, sports, you know?
All right. Now, how about you, Marty? How did you end up in the goal? Most teams, you're a left-hander. Most teams like to use that left-handed player on offense. How did you end up in the goal? Especially because it's not just being in there with the half shallow one. As you said, you weren't the required height for a 10-foot goal. What was it that brought you into the goal?
Well, I think a lot of it was my older brother was a goalie, and so I think people just put the pressure on me to be in the goal as well, which I don't regret it because I love being in the goal. Yeah, it was just, I think my brother because he was in the goal.
Okay. Now, you came to Cuesta, then you went off to New York, came back. What are some of the things that you think are good for local athletes here at Cuesta College? What are the reasons? I mean, you went away, you came back. Are you seeing any positives about Cuesta College that local athletes that you would encourage another athlete to come to Cuesta College?
Well, definitely the pool and what we get to use, and it's a lot. I don't know. Yeah, the pool.
Sense of community, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, that's one of the things that America's found here at Cuesta College. Now, last thing, both you guys are sophomores. Marty, I know you've been looking at some other schools. What are kind of your plans for the future, and what are you looking forward to next year?
I really want to play at a Division I school, and that's my main goal. That's what I'm focusing on, is doing that.
And how about you, America?
I have no idea.
All right. Well, I mean, obviously you're keeping your options open. Last year, a two-time scholar
Right.
athlete, all-conference academic selection. So you have that going for you.
Yeah.
And then maybe looking on to the four-year schools or poly or...
Maybe.
All right. Well, well, best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank
you guys, conference tournament coming up. So that does it for women's water polo here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. I'd like to thank America Hall and Marty Rigg-Roy for joining us here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. We'll be back next with a kinesiology division chair, Jani Johnson.
Cuesta.edu. Television, radio, broadcast, communication. Explore the world of digital communication and tap into your creative genius. Television, radio, broadcast, communication.
This is your boy, the DUI, and you're listening to KGUR.org.
Your digital future is at Cuesta College right now. Log on to Cuesta.edu now for enrollment dates and class information.
Don't get the boom in the shot. Blown it, bro.
Cuesta.edu.
Welcome back to Cuesta Sports Monthly. We're here with kinesiology, health, recreation, athletics division chair, Jani Johnson. Jani is in her second term as a division chair and here to talk about some of the great things happening in our division. So, Jani, welcome back to Cuesta Sports Monthly. First time we had you on here was just when you just took the job. Now here we are kind of towards the end of your tenure. just you were planning this. You were going to be done being division chair, and now they've asked you to stay on for the entire year.
Correct.
How has that affected your plans a little bit?
It's all good. If I will have been here 25 years, so I may as well round it out, you know.
Right.
So it's all good.
Now, you've been a coach, you've been a part-time instructor, you've been a full-time instructor, and now division chair. What kind of the changes in the roles? How have those affected, and how have they opened up your leadership of the division?
It's been a good progression. Working as a part-time person for a long time, you have one perspective, and then taking on the head coaching position was a new kind of step up as far as the intensity of my job. And I think all of those experiences have really helped me to be able to not only empathize with part-time people, but also coaches, and be able to help them and know their needs. So I think it was good timing to do this at the end of my career when I'd had all those experiences.
Yeah, exactly. You've been there, you've done
Yeah.
everything. What were some of the unexpected challenges to the new position for you?
Well, one of the biggest challenges was when I took the position, we were kind of at the height of the budget cuts. And so we lost a division assistant. We eliminated the dance program. And also the state legislature determined that there was going to be no repeatability on physical activity classes. So we basically, in the last couple of years, have overhauled our curriculum, which has been a good thing in the long run, even though it was
It's been
a lot of work.
Big job.
Yeah. But it was good in the sense that it made us really take a look at what classes we were offering, how to refresh our program, how to move on so that we could serve the students the best. So now that it's done, it was a good thing, but it was a lot of work.
Definitely an unexpected
Yeah.
challenge. That
Yeah.
was a big thing to be dropped right in there.
Yeah.
So in the long-term vision, you say that's changed, but what's something that you think has happened in the last few years that you're really excited about looking forward as you leave, that's going to really help?
Yeah.
What's going to be the legacy? What have...
Well, I'm really proud of the course curriculum that we have developed. That's been one thing that I mentioned. Also, we now have in place a kinesiology transfer degree, and we have 2 in the hopper that we're waiting for chancellor's approval, and that's health science and exercise science. So I'm really feel proud of how we've redesigned our curriculum and our transfer degrees to meet what the institutional goals are of the college. Mm-hmm. So that's been one really good thing. And the other is just that we have, I think we've met with the demands of what the state has thrown at us. And we are also anticipating being able to revamp our facilities if the bond should pass. So we're pretty excited about the possibility of that happening.
So obviously that's a huge legacy. I mean, you've revamped the curriculum, you've created new transfer degrees, and so it's really changed the old physical education PE thing into a science or to
yes.
So
yeah, I think we've more closely aligned ourselves with kinesiology majors at the 4-year schools, and we had to do that in order to have a transfer degree. And so we've also aligned our curriculum in the sense that we're really trying to prepare students to be able to seamlessly go right into the 4-year in kinesiology and then ultimately in health and exercise science. So yes, I feel like we have gotten away from just students coming to purely take classes and activity classes in our area. We still have those, and those are still part of curriculum and part of offerings to other students on campus, but it's not our main focus.
Well, I mean, physical activity and activity classes are very important, I think, because
Absolutely.
Especially with the diets and the obesity
Mm-hmm.
and those type of issues, to have those things. But now it's not just those type of things. It's also, this is a real academic. We're moving forward and transferring people out of there, and I think that's great. And I think that's a great accomplishment.
Yeah,
now,
absolutely.
One of the things that is part of the division is being heavy on facilities. Mm-hmm. With the bond coming up, you mentioned, what are some of the things that we'd like to see happen there with the bond?
Well, we have the pool is in dire need of being fixed, and that would be one of our immediate huge needs. We also have a gym that's highly used for many, or 3 or 4 at least, of our sports, as well as for a lot of activity classes. So that gym is used all day long, and it's really unsafe. Actually, it's not. it's very old. It's probably 50 years old, and so that's one of the things that we're really hoping that we get a new facility that we can better teach in those in that facility.
I think after, if I recall correctly, back after 9/11. The old gym across the street, which is 50 years old, the circa World War II.
Yeah,
And
right.
A lot of the facilities were made just after the Jarvis Amendment and the kind of the money shrunk up. So it was, a lot of it was kind of just to get it going. And the kind of deferred maintenance wasn't happening as much as was needed. So now we need some major revamps for both those things.
Yeah, exactly. And everything from just environmental, like the heating and the air conditioning and floor surfaces and all of that is in dire need of
it's
redoing.
It's a lot of wear and tear over the last 35 years or so.
Absolutely.
So for both facilities.
Yep.
So.
And even just the technology in our offices, staying up with the current needs of technology for our classrooms and so forth too. That's huge for us. Yeah. So hopefully that's something that we would have if the bond did pass. So we're excited about the possibility.
Come on, bond.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Now, going back to kind of the athletics here, I mean, what do you think of some of the importance as a former coach, the importance of athletics, not just as, marketing and to see the, activities and stuff like that? What are those you think brings to your division and brings to the college?
Yeah. Well, I think first of all, the experience of athletics for students prepares them for life. I mean, they have to take a full load. A lot of them, as you know, have second jobs, and they're traveling a lot. And I just think that the students that we see come through here, a lot of them transfer. They go on to four-year schools, and they're really the complete student. And the experiences I ran for Cal Poly and the experiences that I had there really prepared me for life. And the friends and the associates and the contacts that I had through Cal Poly helped me to, get my job at Cuesta. And running really paved the way for me for my career. And I think I see a lot of students, that's the potential.
Yeah,
So.
the discipline of being an athlete, and then
Absolutely.
also the connections through your teams that can last a lifetime as well.
Absolutely. I still keep in contact with people at Cal Poly that I ran with. And so I think it's an amazing experience.
Well, we wish you best of luck on the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank
as
you.
you finish out your 25th year, and then into retirement. Hopefully you have some big plans. But and then you can actually get in contact with some of your older teammates and have
Exactly.
everything great there.
Get some lunches in.
Well, we really appreciate the years that you've spent as our division chair and as a coach here at Cuesta College, and just want to thank you for that personally. And
Thank you.
wish you the best of the way as you move on.
Yeah.
And that does it for Cuesta Sports Monthly for this month. I would like to thank our guests, Jani Johnson, Carl White, Colton Privet, America Hall, and Marty Ray-Groy. That does it for your Cuesta Sports Monthly. Be sure to keep an update at the Cuesta Athletic website for information on all of Cuesta's athletic events. And we'll see you next time on Cuesta Sports Monthly. Cuesta Sports Monthly is a production of Cuesta Broadcast Communications. And thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next month.